What is up, wrestling world? Welcome back to the channel. D-Generation Next Era of Wrestling, Episode 4. Who will challenge Bianca Belair for her Raw Women's Championship? That is the main focal point tonight's Monday Night Raw. First off, we're going to get into a little bit of news of things that have happened in the wrestling world in the last few days of simming. And then we will get back to Raw. So real quick, we have Toni Storm has confirmed she's agreed to a deal with MCW Wrestling, former WWE superstar. Let's see what's next. Next up, we have Mario Ranallo has confirmed that he's agreed to a handshake deal with AIW, former NXT announcer. I wish he was still at WWE. I thought he was a great announcer. Let's see what's next. Next up, this is a big one. The Dark Order has officially disbanded on AEW. They have been broken up, I think it was time, after Brody Lee, and then was it Stu left AEW. So yeah, I think that faction, it was time to disband them. They deserved so much more. I would have loved to see them just be like a dominant force in AEW, but rest in peace Brody Lee. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Next up, let's see, last piece of news here was Joey Janela's Spring Break 5. I don't know if you guys have heard of this special, but if you read the book, Too Sweet, Indie Revolution, you will learn about like how big of a deal kind of Joey Janela's Spring Break was. And so yeah, I thought I would just show the main event here was Moxley and Homicide, or Moxley defeats Homicide. Biff Bandito to retain the GCW title. Matt Cardona and Joey Janela defeat the Briscoes. Those are kind of the main ones. Highly would recommend reading that book also. It's pretty cool. Talk about the Indie Revolution, but this Spring Break, Joey Janela's Spring Break was a big deal. They had some crazy matches. So okay, so now back to Raw. This week we're going to see Asuka versus Becky Lynch for the number one contender for Bianca Belair's Raw Women's Championship. We're going to see AJ Styles and Damian Priest. AJ Styles has got some beef with Judgment Day, with them keep interfering. And then also we're going to have a qualifying match for the WWE World Championship, the new top title on Raw that we'll get a new winner crowned at WWE Backlash. Okay, so let's get into a review of what went down last week on Raw. Okay, so last week was Raw after Stupendous Mania. We had Cody Rhodes and Steve Austin defeat Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. Ciampa made his debut against Otis, and then later on got beat down by Alpha Academy. The Miz and Logan Paul challenged RK Bro. The Street Profits, they want to be the number one contenders. Miz defeated Angelo Dawkins in a match. Dakota Kai was there to hype up her Raw debut for this week. Ciampa's beaten down. AJ Styles defeated Edge by DQ after Damian Priest interfered. Championship celebration for Bianca Belair. Her big win at WrestleMania. She's interrupted by, Becky and Asuka, and that's going to set up tonight's big match for the number one contender. Austin Theory accepted Finn Balor's open challenge for the United States Championship. Austin Theory wins after he was interfered with by the Judgment Day. And the Bloodline came out to talk about how dominant they are, and that they'll see us at SmackDown. And then in our Dark Show match, Roman Reigns defeated Drew McIntyre. Okay, so now we will get to this week's Raw. All right, kicking off the show, we've got the U.S. Championship. Austin Theory comes out, has his open challenge for the U.S. Championship. He's got Vince McMahon out there with him. Tommaso Ciampa comes out, accepts the challenge. In a decent match, Austin Theory defeated Tommaso Ciampa with a standing moonsault after interference by Otis and Chad Gable. Austin Theory makes defense number 2. So he's interfered with by Alpha Academy. What do we got here? Oh yeah, I got to turn Vince McMahon heel because he's on the opposite. So after the match, Alpha Academy beats down Tommaso Ciampa in the ring, leaves him down and out. Next up, backstage, we got AJ Styles and Finn Balor. They're forming an alliance. They're saying, listen, we got to have each other's back. Judgment Day, they keep interfering with our matches. They're after us. We got to work together for old time's sake. 72 overall segment. Okay, then we got Dakota Kai in her Raw debut. She defeats Natalia in 7 minutes, 44 seconds. Great performance. They had great chemistry. 52 overall. I like it. Next up on the KO show, Kevin Owens, special guests, Steve Austin, and Seth Rollins. KO and Seth Rollins, they got the general manager, Stone Cold Steve Austin. They say, listen, we want a rematch. We were blindsided last Monday. We want a rematch of KO and Seth Rollins versus Steve Austin and Cody Rhodes. Stone Cold says, not going to happen, not tonight, but both of you will have a match tonight, and one of you will be facing Cody Rhodes, and it will be for the qualifying matches for the WWE World Championship match. It's a fatal 4-way taking place at Backlash. You two will both have your qualifying matches tonight. 79 overall segment. I like it. On to the next. All right, so Seth Rollins, he's having his number 1 contenders match right now. And a good match. Seth Rollins defeats Shelton Benjamin with a curb stomp. Good performance, 64 overall segment. So Seth Rollins is one of the 4 people qualified for the WWE World Championship match at Backlash. Next up, I think I picked the wrong segment here, actually, but the segment is supposed to be MVP Bobby Lashley. After the match, they come up to Shelton Benjamin comes out from after his match, and MVP Bobby Lashley are there. They're talking to Cedric. They're talking to Shelton. They say, listen, we got to team up here, okay? We need to get the Hurt Business back together. Okay, we got Daniel Cormier we got to worry about. We got to worry about getting that WWE World Championship. Okay, we have Omos. Like, we have to band together to become the most dominant force on Raw again. They all agree. Hurt Business. Back in business. What's next? All right, so in the qualifying match for the WWE World Championship, Kevin Owens defeats Cody Rhodes in 10 minutes 48 seconds, followed by interference from Seth Rollins. So Seth Rollins interferes with Cody Rhodes, costs him a spot in the Fatal 4-Way at Backlash. What are going to be the repercussions? What's Cody going to do about just having his, he's here in WWE to win that championship that Dusty never won. He wants to do this for his family. So, what's going to happen with Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins? Seth Rollins is in. Kevin Owens is in. 2 more spots left. let's see what's next. Okay, next up we got the Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair, coming down to the ring. She's going to do some special guest commentary for this Raw Women's #1 Contenders match. And Asuka defeats Becky Lynch in 12 minutes with a quick roll-up after she spits the green mist in Becky Lynch's face, rolls her up, gets the quick pin. Big time Bex, not happy after the match. She has just lost her chance to fight for the Raw Women's Championship, so it will be Asuka versus Bianca Belair at WWE Backlash. Great performance, 64 overall. I like it. Next up, we got RK Bro coming down to the ring for a special guest commentary for the match between Logan Paul and Montez Ford. As you can see, I'm a big fan of the guest commentary. I think that it always provides a really good opportunity for wrestlers to get themselves over and provide the special guest commentary. So RK Bro down to special guest commentary, 71 overall segment. Next up, so in a bout that had great heat and good wrestling, Montez Ford defeats Logan Paul. Logan Paul sustained a severe concussion. Dang. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to roll with these injuries. Nothing I can do there. So that is not good. That might mess up my plans for what I was going to book. But we're going to have to live with it. We're going to have to. Well, he had an 81 overall performance. Okay. Dang. Yeah, I don't know how long he's going to be out with that concussion. We'll have to see after. Logan Paul, yeah, thank you, Shane. I just read that. Next, Daniel Cormier makes his in-ring debut against Cedric Alexander. Daniel Cormier defeats Cedric Alexander by submission. The Hurt Business is around the outside of the ring. After the match, they think about possibly jumping in there and jumping Daniel Cormier. They don't do it. But Daniel Cormier looking strong in his WWE debut. Next up, we have AJ Styles defeats Damian Priest in 7 minutes and 31 seconds. After Damian Priest was disqualified for attacking, he attacks AJ Styles in the middle of the match with a chair. Edge, he runs in. They both start beating him down with chairs. Is anybody going to come save AJ Styles? You know it. Finn Balor runs down to the ring. AJ Styles is being attacked. Finn Balor comes down, fights them both off. AJ Styles, Finn Balor, standing strong in the middle of the ring. They throw up the 2 Sweet. The Bullet Club is back, just like in real life. Just happened a few weeks ago. The Bullet Club, the club is back in business. So the club versus the Judgment Day, bound to happen soon. So we go off air with Finn Balor and AJ Styles, 2 Sweeting in the center of the ring. 69 overall segment. I think the show was really good. I'm going to say 63 overall. 70 overall. Let's go. Okay, I like that. All of our sponsors should like that too. We increased popularity in 12 regions. All right, so let's get back to the office and let's see how bad that concussion is for Logan Paul. Okay, so before we look at Logan Paul's injury, let's take a look at this news here. Any big shows going on? Any big moves? yeah, I don't really see any big news there. Sure, Logan Paul's. Okay, let's go see what his injury is. Oh man. Alrighty, well, Bailey can come back in 2 days. That's good. But Logan Paul is out for a year and 2 months. That just totally foiled all my plans for what I was going to do with the Raw Tag Team Championship. Dang. Okay, well, the show must go on, as they say in WWE. Getting Lacey Evans back in 13 days and Bailey back in 2, so I guess that's good. But Logan Paul is pretty much done for, so. Okay, let's see if there's anything else I need to look at. Okay, yeah, so I think that about wraps it up for this week's edition of Monday Night Raw. I don't really have anything else to show in the office. I just got this figurehead thing up to cover up some things I don't want you to see. So, we will be booking SmackDown Live next Tuesday night. All right, well, you guys take it easy.